It's a film with three brains. 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 It's a film with three brains.
Oh my god, you guys are freaks.
You spook easily, Starling?
Not yet, sir.
He's past the others. The last cell. I'll be watching. You'll do fine.
A killer is on the loose.
Keeps them alive for 3 days. Then he shoots them, skins them, and dumps them.
A rookie FBI agent is on his trail.
He's got real physical strength, cautious, precise, and he's never impulsive. He'll never stop.
But in order to track him down, she'll have to match wits.
I'll help you catch him, Clary.
Believe me, you don't want Hannibal Lecter inside your head.
With the darkest of all minds.
Just do your job, but never forget what he is.
Oh, he's a monster. Pure psychopath. So rare to capture one alive.
So close to the way you're gonna catch him. Do you realize that? Oh, Clarice, your problem is you need to get more fun out of life.
You told me you don't spook easily.
You call this easy, sir?
Lecter's missing an arm.
Man's a raving maniac. Who knows what he'll do?
Thank you, Clary. Thank you.
Welcome to the Film with Three Brains. It's Sam in San Francisco.
And this is Sean creeped out in Wisconsin.
And this is Cohen in Maplewood, New Jersey.
And if you don't know what we're reviewing by now, it's great. You're in for a treat.
No.
By now, yeah.
3 seconds in, if you figured
Yes.
it out.
Probably heard the trailer as well.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yes. Anyway, yes. Silence of the Lambs. I don't remember. What year was this? 1990.
91.
Another year.
91.
Yeah. Anyway, based on the best-selling book, it is a bad guy FBI psychiatric thriller movie. I like it as far as like a psychological thriller, but it's also really stands out watching it again that you're catching a serial killer and there is actually so little killing in it compared to what we're used to as soon as you throw the word serial killer into a description.
Yeah.
Anyway, when's the last time you guys saw this?
I don't recall. It's been many years. And in fact, I thought my memory of it was better than it actually was. I was watching it going, oh, I don't remember this. Oh, yeah, I don't remember that at all. So I think it's been a while, like 15, 20 years for me, I would guess.
Yeah, same. I know I've seen it start to finish, but I was on the edge of my seat the whole movie. I guess that's a testament to the movie more than my memory. But yeah, this is a fun experience to revisit. I mean, fun in quotes.
Yeah, maybe you want to reread Thomas Harris's book. I remember, I read it way back then. Actually, read the book before I saw the movie, but it makes me want to go back and reread the book to see what's different.
I don't think I've ever read any of the books.
Yeah, I read this one and the one after it, and then I've seen I think 3 of the movies, but they get progressively worse.
Yeah. So what was, just in terms of the books, was Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal?
Yeah. And
is the chronological order, right?
Yeah.
Is that all? Is that the only books he wrote? Those 3?
Oh, Thomas Harris?
Yeah.
No, I think he's done other stuff. No,
I just mean the Hannibal Lecter books.
Oh yeah. No, I don't. I think those are it. Yeah.
Cool.
This was one of the situations where the second book was so popular, it got everybody to go back and read the first book.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, Red Dragon was done first, but it was the success of Silence of the Lamb. So actually, no, there's a Hannibal Rising book that I never read. It came out like 15 years later.
They made a movie out of that too, didn't they?
2006.
They did.
They did. I don't remember who played Hannibal Lecter. If only there was a way of figuring this out.
And just as long as we're spitballing all this stuff, so Manhunter from like '86 with Michael Mann, that was more the Red Dragon.
It was
timeline. Okay,
that was an adaptation of Red Dragon.
Okay,
which I don't remember.
The movie?
Yeah, I don't remember at all.
I just remember that Brian Cox plays Hannibal Lecter. That's about it. And what's his name from To Live and Die in L.A. is
William Peterson or whatever.
Yeah, is the protagonist in Manhunter and stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently, Thomas Harris had a pet possum.
Great.
Okay.
Well, not many people do. I don't know.
True. That's
you
true.
Google someone and you see them holding a possum. Is there?
They're quite nice animals.
They eat a lot of ticks.
That's what they do.
Yeah, they eat tons of ticks.
We are just moving along like a freight train as usual.
Silence of the Lambs is so good, we're not going to even bother talking about it.
Yeah. Just talk about the reclusive writer behind him. But he is kind of a recluse. Didn't show up much. Anyway, I did see a possum in the road the other day. That's really all I wanted to talk about.
Was it alive or squished?
Well, it was alive. I stopped the car. He waved, went through the fence, turned around, looked back at me. Yeah. So, yeah, it's fun. You don't see them too often.
Did he give you a little wink like Anthony Hopkins?
A little thumb up.
Oh.
That's one I had to read about. Like, Anthony Hopkins being an unnerving psychiatrist. It wasn't until I read that he purposely doesn't blink to try to make himself seem more unnerving. That I realized, like, oh yeah, he just kind of stares a lot. He does give a wink at one point.
He plays a very good insane person.
Yeah.
I've never been a huge Silence of the Lambs fan. Like, I recognize that it's a great movie and I enjoy it, but I've never been obsessive about it. Like, I know a lot of people are just like, oh my God, it's like my favorite movie. I mean, I like it. It's great. But so watching it again, I feel like I had a renewed appreciation for specifically his performance and how good it is. And I was reading about the movie, just sort of the trivia and the behind the scenes stuff. And I didn't realize, I had no idea that he was like kind of done with film acting. He wasn't very popular. He wasn't getting the roles he wanted. He hadn't achieved any level of success he thought he would or had hoped for. And this movie came along and he like made the conscious decision that if it wasn't a huge success, he was going to give up film acting altogether, leave Hollywood and just go back to the stage in England. He was just going to focus on theater in England and that was it. He'd be done with Hollywood.
Wow.
And then this came out and he won an Academy Award. It won all the major categories that year. And it thrust him into the A-list, like overnight. And he won another Academy Award at some point. He's been nominated like 5 times since or whatever. And, he's Sir Anthony Hopkins, like this acting legend, all because of this movie, which is fascinating to me. And he was, I don't know if it's still the case, but at the time he held the record for least amount of screen time for a Best Actor.
Yeah.
Academy Award winner.
Yeah, he's only in this movie for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. But he's great. Like, I can't imagine anyone else doing it. And I can't imagine this movie being sort of so well regarded without him in his performance.
No.
Because like Jodie Foster's fine. Like, she's good. Like, everyone knows my hangups with Jodie Foster, but she's good in this. But she doesn't like make the movie to me.
No.
I can picture a half a dozen other actresses in this role who would have been just as good, maybe better. I don't know. But not him. Definitely not.
Yeah, she was coming off of The Accused, and she got recognized for that.
Yeah, that was a big. I don't know if that made money, but it was a critical hit. I think, wasn't it? The Accused, didn't that win awards?
Yeah, yeah, I think she won an award for it.
Particularly her performance, which is pretty good. I mean,
that
movie's tough to watch. It's hard.
It is tough to watch. I haven't watched it since.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah,
since
it was horrible.
The first time it came out. Yeah.
But thematically, it's pretty strongly linked to this. I mean, that is overtly about sexual assault, rape.
Sure.
This is more subtly. I feel like Jonathan Demme, pretty artfully weaves in the idea of misogyny and the male-dominated law enforcement society without like poking you too hard with it.
That's the first. That's easily the first 30-40 minutes of this movie is showing you how she responds to how men treat her in such an artful way. It never stuck out to me. It's been a few years since I watched this movie, but watching it this time, it was so obvious that they're showing you how clever she is and how she can roll with anything. In, like you said, it's a subtle enough way, and maybe it didn't stand out 25 years ago or 30 years ago because things like I was more naive, and maybe things were just the way they were, so it didn't seem abnormal, whereas now it seems like the actions of some of the men in the movie are like blatantly obvious in some ways, like flagrant offenses. But having her respond to it, I was looking at this and it's like, this is her save the cat moment is spread out over like 30 to 40 minutes, of showing you who she is, as far as how she can handle things psychologically, because then the rest, of being with Lecter and dealing with him is just an extension of that in some ways. I was like, I don't think that anybody would ever watch this movie because of that subject, but it actually handles that subject of quote unquote, a woman in a man's workplace so well. I was fascinated by it because, like I said, it was just this unexpected. Like I'm always thinking about like, okay, it's all Hannibal Lecter. The whole movie is Hannibal Lecter and her interacting, but all these other interactions have so much meaning now. It's you scrutinize it. Yeah,
like when she is introduced, her first visit, and Dr. Chilton, got a weird Jim Carrey creepy vibe going on. He's like, well, I wish you would have said this in the office. And she's like, well, then I would have been deprived of your company, the pleasure of your company. And he just smiles at that. He knows he's been, or whatever. He's being handled, but he still, she does it very well. I mean, it's, I'm sure there's a lot of women that can relate to a lot of these situations.
I like the shot of her. I had forgotten about the shot of her getting in the elevator with all the men, and she's like a foot shorter than all of them.
Yep.
Which it actually reminded me. There's an exact same shot in Die Hard with a Vengeance. Bruce Willis gets on the elevator and he's surrounded by all the like German dudes or whatever, and they're all half a foot taller than him. Anyway,
yeah,
so it doesn't matter. That's what I thought of. Of course, I thought of a Die Hard movie. Yeah. And they actually address the whole like sort of the misogyny thing and the way she's dismissed and treated differently with Scott Glenn in that scene where he's like, we should go talk, when we're, in another room where we're not with the lady or whatever. And then she addresses it specifically. And he's like, well, I was just trying to get him out of there. And then she tells him how he should have handled it. And then he says, noted. And like, he takes it to heart. Yeah.
Do we need a review of what this movie is?
Sure.
All right. A not quite graduate FBI agent is selected to go interview a former serial killer who is imprisoned, who's a psychiatrist, who's super smart, clever, to interview to try to get a profile on a current serial killer who's killed 5 women and cut off parts of their skin. This guy goes quid pro quo and wants to hear about her childhood and other things, even though she's been instructed not to give him any personal information because he'll get inside her head. In exchange, he'll give her information. And by all coincidences, it turns out that he actually knows who the serial killer is. And he slowly toys with her and everyone else to get his way to get out of the cell he's stuck in for something better, while she tries to find the killer. And the killer is interesting because the whole, he gets so little screen time. He does a great job being creepy. You never see him kill anybody. You never, you never see any outright violence by him. When he kidnaps the girl, they don't show anything really happen. He tricks her into his van. I guess the take-home lesson of this movie is don't get in the back of people's vans.
Don't help creepy guys with their couch in the middle of the night.
Anyway, yeah. So I think that's like some of the effectiveness of this movie is because it's done in that Alfred Hitchcock sort of style of like just hint at really creepy stuff and scary stuff and let the audience's imagination fill in the gaps rather than try to go for any sort of like body horror or jump scares or anything like that. Like it's a really effective movie at like keeping you on the edge of your seat. And when they go to bust, the FBI thinks they're at the right house. It's a little bit of the same scene that was used nearly the same time from The Fugitive. Of the audience thinks one house with one person and it's getting busted and it's not. But the way they're doing the cuts, they're fooling the audience. But they did it so well in that scene, and it worked well in The Fugitive too.
The Fugitive would have ripped off that Jonathan Demme because that was 2 years later, I think.
Yeah.
There's, just an example of your point. Like they say what happened when people didn't observe the rules around Hannibal Lecter, and they describe what happened to the nurse. They reattached her eye or something, like some gruesome stuff.
She lost an eye and reattached her nose.
Yeah. And he's holding it, but and I was like, do I want to see that? I don't think I want to see that. But the description was worse than whatever they would have shown us, I think. And it was too early in the movie for that type of gore, I think, or that reveal.
Yeah.
But it was a nice tease. It was like, oh, what did you do? Oh, gross.
I think, as we mentioned, that the acting is makes this movie so incredible by pretty much everybody. Like Chilton's not in there very much, but he's smarmy little guy who he's in there just long enough for you to dislike him and kind of like snicker at the end. The FBI agent is good. They're all good, but you say you can't imagine, or you can imagine other people besides Jodie Foster doing this, but at the same time, I think she really did a great job. Like her reactions to Anthony Hopkins, to Hannibal, and then their conversation, like her facial expressions, her hesitancy to say things and all that, it's so real, like she's doing such a great job of conveying like that she wants to move forward and she's afraid at the same time, and she's also desperate, you know. I don't know that just anyone could have fit in that spot, you know, as far as other people. You know, when I read some of the, go ahead.
Michelle. Well, I was going to say Michelle Pfeiffer just off the bat. I was like, wait, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing. It's like it was supposed to, you know, be her, but they couldn't come to terms with how much she'd get paid. Like, that would have. I just don't see it from Michelle Pfeiffer.
I don't see that either.
You know.
I mean, she's you know, small build, delicate features. You know, there's similarities, but I don't get the same vulnerability from her in most of the things I've seen her in. And maybe I'm not giving her enough credit, but yeah, I just don't like. Jodie Foster had a way of just making you feel nervous just seeing her on. I mean, maybe because she's so slight, and she, you know, she just seems, she's not timid. She's very dogged and everything, but like, yeah, just something about her presence in a lot of the situations just seemed like there was like there was threat, there was menace in almost every scene.
She
like
had
her
this
going under that door at the storage
yeah
thing,
she had this ability to have like a look of fear in her eye but clenching her jaw, like trying to stay tough at the same time. Like it was like her looks were subtle. And I you know, one of the things that was cool was, you know, she shares that story about being in Montana for only a month, and then where the title of the movie comes from, of you know, the bleeding of the lambs that are going to be slaughtered. And you know, after they originally were going to make a cut scene to Montana to film that, just like they had the cut scene of her father dying, and or you know, and after that scene, Jonathan Demme is like, I guess we don't need to go to Montana, because he couldn't imagine cutting away from any of the delivery. You know, and it was the right choice to do, you know, there, because all you needed was him and her. Like the way that I hate to use the word charisma for given the subject matter, but the charisma that they have is
Cohen's allergic to all that, apparently.
Yeah. Well, that you know, and this has been recognized by other people. You know, he made, you know, they're both, you know, I can't remember when AFI did their top villains thing, but he was top 10, and so was, you know, and she was in the top heroes thing too. You know, people love these performances. So I guess I'm just, now that I'm finally approving it, it's real though.
Check mark. Yeah.
Yes.
I would include Scott Glenn in that, just
because
because
he's great.
He rides that line because you think he could be similar to well, like Cohen said, like he's already made some missteps in terms of dealing with, you know, the weird nature of the work and her being in it. But I didn't remember like clearly if he was truly being a mentor, if he was using her a little bit. I mean, he was technically using her in the sense that she was the right tool for the job. But I think he also knew that this was important to her. It's what she wanted to do. But there were just choices that he made, like calling her from the plane, you know, as they're going to Calumet City or whatever it is. He's like, oh yeah, you know, he thanks her, but he also didn't give her a heads up at all until he was on the plane heading there, you know. Yeah. There's some little slights, but overall, I mean, it sort of comes back to the end, or he's at her ceremony, and you know, he tells her explicitly that he appreciates her and all that stuff. But I still feel like that his performance was able to portray like the old guard kind of, you know, he's an older guy in the bureau, and he's not quite nailing it, but he appreciates her, and like just the you know, the way it can be tricky. And then I mean, it's the same with a lot of the male characters that are just some of them stare too long, or say things they shouldn't, or just blatantly hit on her. But yeah, I mean, Scott's a good actor. Obviously, we've seen him before. We haven't done Silverado yet, but he's great in Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, Silverado's on my list.
I've seen that in a long time. So you look at the list of people who could have been Hannibal Lecter, and you said, you said you couldn't imagine anyone else doing it, which is true. Once you look at this list, you're like, Robert De Niro, no way, absolutely no way.
Yeah,
Robert Duvall, maybe, but not. Jack Nicholson, okay, that we know he can play crazy. Morgan Freeman, I just don't see that. Sean Connery,
definitely not.
Dustin Hoffman,
yeah, maybe.
John Hurt, yeah,
John Hurt,
Jeremy Irons, maybe, but
Jeremy Irons has the voice for it for sure.
Yeah,
but there's something about Hopkins' delivery when he says FBI. The way he half whispers things. He's just so attentive to her and everything that she's doing. Like, you feel like he doesn't miss anything.
Yeah.
In his performance, you just feel that.
Anyway, it's fun to watch something done so well. Like the nerds at the museum that figuring out the moth, which cameo the moth.
Ooh,
the moth.
Oh, you're disappearing a little bit. We saw it for a second. There we go.
Yeah, I don't normally support buying insects, but if people give them to me,
you won't give them back.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
so I'll be the rube here, and I'm not sure I understand exactly this. I mean, obviously, he's transformation. They specifically talk about transformation and identity and stuff like that. But why? I mean, why he would put, like, why did he go into such great lengths for the moths? I mean, it's not exactly related to the skin suit sort of thing, is it? I kind of wish I had read the book, because there's some little questions or little details that I was like, I just kind of gloss over them at the time, but I'm like, okay.
You mean why that moth particularly, or why
that moth? It's hard to cultivate that type of moth, and he had to get it flown in and take care of it. I know that they talked about, someone loved this moth.
Well, but maybe just because it's the spookiest, I mean, it literally has like a little skull appearance on it. Like, I mean, I don't know if there's a better reason, but that would be my guess. Like,
okay, there wasn't something I missed that adds to the weirdness of Buffalo Bill or anything.
I don't
He's
remember
meticulous.
from the book.
He's
it's
patient.
Too long ago.
Yeah.
No, I mean the transformation part, like you mentioned, and but no, I don't know. And there were other insects in his house. When they first show him in that room that has the aquariums with that, there were other types of insects. He didn't have just the hawk moth. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it made me think of Seven, and when he's forced to, the first victim, I think, is forced to eat stuff, and there's the scrapings of the. Well, anyway, there's a detail that only would be found by in forensics and after the fact, and it becomes an important detail for the investigation, and it's creepy just to think about somebody kind of defiling victims or doing things after they're dead. Or anyway, as long as I didn't miss anything important or interesting.
No, if I go back and read the book, I'll let you know. But I think it's just more that it's a the moth itself with the skull on it is part of representing, death and rebirth. That I think is kind of it. I don't think there's anything more to it.
Okay. Works for me. Yeah, in that scene with the nerds or whatever you call them, the random thought, but I was like, isn't that Bulldog from Frasier? I don't know if you guys watch a lot of Frasier back in the day, but
I don't think I've ever seen a whole episode.
Yeah, well, he plays a macho sports guy, and he's the complete opposite of this character, sort of the bookish, erudite guy. I just thought it was interesting casting. Like, oh, they flipped that on its head for Frasier. Anyway, I mean, there's like Chris Isaac playing an FBI guy. There's interesting little casting things, but that's all I got. I mean, that's not all I got, but that's all I have on that point. But
I have a nitpick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, probably more than a nitpick actually, but I know it was very intentional and there's a reason for doing it, but having the characters like speak into the camera and look at the camera when they're first talking to Clarice, I found distracting and a little heavy-handed, and I didn't care for it. If you noticed that.
Yeah. I think that they did that deliberate to try to make you feel like you were Clarice.
Yes.
That you were being...
But for me, that it did the opposite.
Right.
Like, rather than sort of suck me into that world, it just made me feel like I was watching a movie, like watching a conscious decision by a director to try and manipulate me. And I didn't like it.
I would say that speaks to how well the rest of the movie is done, because if you notice something, like, because there's so much space and time and creepy vibes, there's just plenty of opportunity to look for stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And if you only noticed it in those moments, I think that's pretty good, because
I would have liked it much better if it was only done with Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
I thought that
sort of staring into your soul and knowing everything about you kind of thing. I thought it would have been maybe more effective, but because it's basically every character she encounters, I was just like,
that's fair.
It felt a little cheap, a little too, hey, look at me, I'm a filmmaker, kind of thing, instead of, maintaining the illusion. It sort of shattered it a little bit.
I like just to point out something I like about what he did is the last shot. I'm assuming, it's shot in the Bahamas, like, apparently, but I don't know if we're supposed to know that. But it's, Hannibal gets off the phone and says, I'm having an old friend for dinner, and then follows him, and then it's just the streets, the normal. It just looked very like it was a camera set up high. I didn't feel like the extras were. Maybe not even aware that it was rolling or something, because there was such natural action happening, and they disappear in the crowd, and I just liked that as a last shot. I thought that was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's also like you're getting left behind while the action's leaving, and it's like you're kind of like, oh, I kind of want to see what's going to happen,
Absolutely.
And it's just kind of drifting off as the credits, start rolling.
Yeah, especially if you think Dr. Chilton maybe deserves that.
Well, I don't know if anyone deserves to be eaten, but
well, so here's my question too. Is that character the same character that Gary Oldman plays in Hannibal?
I don't know.
I haven't seen Hannibal.
Remember,
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, they changed like almost everybody.
Because in Hannibal, Gary Oldman plays like an old acquaintance or colleague or something whose face is totally fucked up because Hannibal ate his face but didn't kill him. I don't, and I thought it was that same. I'm gonna look it up. So where are you?
That would be interesting.
They couldn't get Jodie Foster to do the sequel because the original sequel, the script for the sequel, had her falling in love with Hannibal Lecter, And she was like, no way, I'm out, which is why she's not in it. And then they changed the script after they hired someone else. Was it who played her in
was it Julianne Moore?
Yeah, Julianne Moore. Yeah.
Okay. And didn't Jonathan Demme back out as well for whatever reason? I mean,
no, Gary Oldman plays a guy named Mason Verger.
Right.
Who is not Chilton.
So I guess I guess I haven't seen Hannibal in so long. I don't really remember if there's a flashback so we know who Mason Verger is or was, or if they just introduce him as this guy with no face and he's just a mess and he's like Hannibal's nemesis, or Hannibal is his or whatever. I don't know. And he's a bit insane himself because of what happened to him.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay, I got an Oscars type question for the group. Maybe mostly Colin, probably, but I mean, I know it won like the big five. It won everything in the 1991 Oscars.
Yeah.
Hopkins, Foster, Demme, Best Picture. It's screenplay.
Screenplay, yeah.
But it wasn't released until February of 91. And I was just like, well, that's unusual because these days you have to really get the film out. If not by the end of the year, then it has to, I feel like it doesn't work that way anymore. Like that was too soon from release to the award show. But I mean, I know that a lot of that's just publicity, and they like to hype things up long enough before the awards.
Well, it won in the 1992 Academy Awards.
No, it says 91. I could be.
Well, yeah.
For the night. So it won in 92 for the cycle of 91. The awards
ceremony was in 92, but it was for all the films released in 91.
Yeah.
So I know there's not more dumb questions. So this year's Academy Awards were the 2025 awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Makes sense now. I don't like it, but it makes sense.
You don't like it?
Well, no, I think they should have the year of the award. Anyway, I guess it doesn't matter. It should, it's easier to remember the year that all the movies are from, not who cares when the awards were. So nothing has changed in 30 years as far as award cycles. Okay. I'm just behind the times. That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. I'm comfortable with that.
Not really a nitpick, but just something I noticed. I had sort of forgotten how, I don't know what the word is, but the plot of this is pretty simple. Like it's pretty straightforward in terms of what the characters do physically, where they go, what they do, how it sort of plays out in terms of it's sort of a whodunit, kind of.
Some mystery
thriller, psychological thriller, whose plot is very threadbare. Like not a lot happens. She goes to see him, and then like she goes to see him a second time, and then she basically goes and catches him. Like it everything else is sort of like, it's not a criticism. It's sort of fascinating to me. It's interesting because usually this sort of movie would have far more going on in terms of plotting.
There's not really a lot of like false leads, wrong turns.
Right.
There's
like one red herring at the end, kind of at the end where we were talking about the cross cutting between the cops, kicking in the door or whatever. And that's it in terms of like a traditional red herring, a reversal, or misdirection. There's not really a whole lot else.
Yeah, especially since they've gone nowhere after 6 killings, and then the 7th woman is kidnapped, and in very short time, this FBI student gets put on the track to getting the right guy pretty quickly. and it's a little bit of luck that he ends up, he's in the house of the person who used to do, and I don't know if he killed that lady or not. They don't, he says he has the card for the son, but we don't know what the real truth is there.
Yeah.
It's, but yeah, it's interesting how effective the movie is for such a linear plot.
Yeah.
But it's the unveiling of the clues that makes it so interesting. It's the anagram. It's the, it's putting two together, like realizing, it was, the answer was right in front of them as far as like the pieces of skin that are being cut off. Like, why are they these shapes and whatever? But her realization. So it's the unveiling of each clue that makes it so special, especially when she has to get some of them from an incarcerated psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought. I mean, we've said it's sort of thriller, bit of mystery. It's horror, and at times very suspenseful. I mean, it covers a lot of genres, I guess, or mixes a bunch of genres, and it's just downright spooky, in general. What's the undeniable vibe of it? I wonder if they worked on, if there was something specific about the well under the house type of thing. I mean, he has a lot going on down there. I was curious about that, but I mean, I don't think he could have kept her, incarcerated any number of ways. Like, isn't is it Along Came a Spider or Kiss the Girls, one of those Morgan Freeman ones? Isn't there a bunch of different rooms underground or something? There's like a similar type of conceit about how they kept girls.
I have no memory of either of those movies.
I barely remember those.
I know I've seen them, but
and those are those related to? I mean, those.
No,
not really.
No,
they're not at all.
I mean, they're Kiss the Girls and Along Came a Spider are both Alex Cross books by whoever I don't remember the writer's name.
Okay.
But it's not Thomas Harris.
It's not Thomas Harris. Mm-hmm. I mean, these days, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a taste for Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, or crime procedurals. I mean, I mean, a passing interest, but not like. It seems like a lot of people eat those up these days, and I'm sure that's partially because of the effect or the the effectiveness of this movie.
Sure.
Like, has to be.
Cool. James Patterson, that's who wrote the Alex.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, do you think that there's a need to see justice done? And I mean, there certainly is in this movie. Like, you want them to catch Buffalo Bill. You want her to get, to get her reward for doing this or whatever it is. I mean, it's effective, but I don't think it's necessarily because because of the nature of, like, crime is crime to me. I'm not saying that heinous crimes aren't more dramatic, because they are, but in terms of movies, like, we're pretty much up to our ears in gore and violence and things like that, especially these days. But I think that it's maybe glossed over a lot more or something. I don't know. Like I guess making you feel what Clarice feels and what the victim, like putting yourself in these situations, sort of makes it more. I don't know. It just jumps. It just makes you jump a little more than these days. It's like too much action. I think that Terminator 2 won like Best Sound or something, and this was nominated for Best Sound. But I think the sound is really quite good.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they use, and not just the score, but like the whole vibe of the, I think it's Howard Shore.
Yeah.
They talked about how effective it is.
Yeah. Terminator 2, yeah.
And you mentioned Hitchcock before. Like, yeah, it's like a throwback sort of feel to this that is lacking a lot of times in recent movies.
Yeah, well, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's making you feel what the characters feel rather than trying to scare you or give you gore. Like a lot of movies can't make you feel scared or unnerved. They can make you feel squeamish. They can gross you out or whatever, which is so much easier to do, I think,
true.
than to make you actually feel unnerved,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this movie does so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I just realized I haven't done the nitpick.
Yeah.
The climax is kind of fucking stupid.
You mean because it would be so easy to kill her?
Yeah.
If you were in the dark with vision goggles and a gun and night vision goggles.
Yes.
All that. So,
and even if like cocking the gun alerts her,
mm-hmm.
like it's just dumb. It's just dumb. Like,
so,
if he was gonna, the only possible explanation is he had no intention of killing her. But I mean,
yeah,
why wouldn't he if she's gonna turn around and shoot him, which she does?
So the explanation to his hesitancy to just kill her in the book is that he likes her hair. And they allude to that. You see him put his hands up, kind of near her hair.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
So he can't shoot her in the head. He can't. He needs to kill her some other way because he thinks that she's part of his beauty and his potential beauty. And when he gets shot in the book, he lives long enough to say to her, "What's it like to be so beautiful?" as his dying words. And because when I watched this movie too, I was like, oh my gosh, she's in, like, one, why would she go in the dark? Like, she can't, like, why would you go in anywhere? Like, you have them trapped in the basement, just wait for help to come, right? Like, that's the logic.
Back up first. And also every FBI agent in every TV show and movie I've ever seen always has a little tiny flashlight.
Right. So
they're always like,
they get that at graduation.
And they're like,
that's the graduation gift.
I mean, Jesus, have you ever seen the X-Files, Clarice? Jesus. They always have a flashlight. They have a little tiny flashlight.
So, yes. Yeah. Really, they really botched it. Man, they still pulled off the Oscar. So, yeah. And I was watching it too. I was like, he's like, come on, they had to do it. And I guess, if she would have heard Catherine yelling before she opened the door, it would have been more compelling that she had to go in. Like, she's trying to save Catherine before Catherine died. Like, all they need to do is have Catherine's yell come through that door once she gets to the bottom of the stairs, and it justifies her opening the door to go in, because she can't let the senator's daughter die. But then once all the lights are off and all that, and he's toying with her, it's really hard to convey what's conveyed in the book.
I kept thinking about this. I'm like, if I were her, like, what would I do? And I kept thinking, if she'd have just fired around, like, into the floor or the top or the ceiling or whatever, and like created a flash, he would have been blinded. If he were in the room, I mean, I guess she doesn't know he's there, but he would have been blinded briefly. She maybe would have got a glimpse of him, and then maybe I felt like that would have been a some, I don't know. I don't know if that's better, but like, I felt like that was a sort of a practical approach to how could she possibly survive this scenario. And I kept thinking, if she just had fired her gun once to get a muzzle flash.
I don't think she's aware that he has night goggles.
No, I know. She has no way of knowing that.
Okay.
But just in terms of being able to see something, even for a second.
Oh, I see. Just to get her
bearings. Yeah. Like, maybe she just like pulls the trigger just to see if she can figure out where the door is, and then she sees him and she's like, holy fuck, he's right there. or whatever. And he's like, you can't see, because apparently night vision can't. I don't know. I mean, I'm just talking about other movies I've seen where people are wearing night vision goggles and there's like a flashbang and they go, blind.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I suppose that's...
Yeah. I mean, I can see where reading the book and having access to his internal monologue and like that makes a certain level of sense. Like I can buy that. Yeah. I see, it didn't obviously, I don't think it came through at all when he's like reaching out to a casual viewer who's never read the book. Like I didn't get that at all, but
right.
I guess it's a plausible, workable explanation, I suppose.
Yeah, I was thinking that she would remember that lesson from her training when she's like, you're dead because you didn't check the corner. So I mean, she did definitely like take her time when she kept entering rooms and shutting doors, and like you could tell there was, she didn't do anything blatantly wrong, but except for of course not getting back up and all that, but
not having a flashlight.
Not having the flashlight, of course.
Yeah.
Although I don't think she wasn't expecting, like when she was let in, she's like, it's like, you want to come in? I've got it. You want to come in? And she's like, oh yeah. I mean, she doesn't know where she is yet.
Yeah.
And then she slowly has these suspicions. And
well, I'm going to get the interns to send Jodie Foster a flashlight for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
And see if she figures it out.
Yeah. Something else minor I had forgotten or didn't know, or I'd forgotten, is that he never actually says, in my memory, at some point he says something like, have you silenced the lambs or whatever, like the word silence and lambs, I thought he said in some combination at some point in the movie, but he doesn't, right? He only says the screaming of the lambs.
Screaming, yeah. The screaming,
right? He never actually says, because he asks her, he's like, he says like, do you still hear the lambs screaming or something?
Right.
Or do you still hear the screaming of the lambs? And in my memory was that he had said something like, are they silent or whatever, and I wondered, and then I wondered, like, did Thomas Harris ever consider calling it the screaming of the lambs? Just because, while not as subtle and interesting, it's a little more, it sounds a little more thriller-esque, thriller/horror, I don't know. It's neither here nor there.
Well, I think it's creepy to think of the silence because that means they are slaughtered. I mean,
sure,
they're dead.
Right.
Yeah, I can't.
Or like if someone were making it today, they'd be like, we got to call it the screaming of the lambs, like they're screaming.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Somebody in a room somewhere like, oh man, we need a better, more jumpy title.
Something more impactful.
Yeah. I don't know if this was a big deal or not, but I thought it was interesting that he has his own press clippings on the wall. Like he has the same, Bill Skin's fifth victim, and Crawford has that in his office at the very beginning, the same article.
Yeah,
I just thought that was a nice touch. I don't know if that makes any difference, but it just made me think they're all sort of following each other. Like the way he is like, well, they find anything yet? The cops around here don't have a clue. Do they have any fingerprints? So he's sort of grilling her lightly for information. But he's very aware of the effect he has in the public, and yeah, it's interesting. One more thing I want to mention, because we talked about misogyny and stuff, is the potential, or at least the idea, that there is some transphobia involved here because of Bill's character, because he's, he's not androgynous, but he's like, they talk about sexuality in a weird way. Do you guys feel like that's just part of just how it is, or do you think it's at that time it was less problematic in the 90s than it is today, maybe?
Well, I think they addressed it, with a quick turn on that when he tells her that this is not someone who is actually trans. This is someone who was abused and wants to escape himself. And he thinks that the way to escape himself is to be someone else. And he's a violent, sick individual or something along those lines. So I think that they like. So is your question? Is it the movie maker, or is it what did the audience take away from it?
I guess I'm just stressing it because I feel like, in general, there's still ignorance about, homosexual and gay people being educators, because that seems weird to some people. Like it's less of an issue these days, but it's also, by the same token, like it bears mentioning because it's not 1991 anymore.
Yeah, I think
or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not that big deal.
I think when he wrote the book, he was taking something that was taboo and using it as part of a plot device, but he also did it in a way to like have a backdoor out of it to say that this person's not really that,
Right.
Looking at it watching it with today and what that's, when you start watching it and you realize what happens until that line comes up, you're like, oh, I don't know how people would feel about this. And then when that line comes up, you're like, oh, okay, it's not, but it's, I don't know, given all the other stuff that's happened in the world, I feel like this is nothing,
Right.
This means nothing. It is odd that our president really likes Hannibal Lecter and thinks that he's MAGA. Not a joke. He has said he's a great guy in multiple public arenas. But yeah,
it's like he's a little confused about character versus actual person type of thing.
Yes, I don't know.
Well,
weird.
I would say that that Hannibal Lecter is polite, well spoken. He's very cultured, but he's also a serial killer cannibal. Mm-hmm. So I think we tend to like think of eccentric, crazy characters as just weirdos in general, but having him being like almost likable and a deranged serial killer is an interesting choice. Mm-hmm. Just like making Bill like searching for something. I mean, he has a more specific, he's axe to grind. Like he's making a skin suit of women. Why he doesn't use men, he doesn't really explain. He doesn't, or if he wants, like there's things behind it. I'm sure there's more in the book, but there's just interesting choices about how we feel about murder and what's considered creepy or beyond the pale or something. But I think what you said a minute ago was pretty good. It's like, yeah, things are pretty nuts these days. We tend to get hit over the head with all the creepy stuff, or like no one said when Saw came out, people didn't go, well, what's with that guy's sexuality, or it's just like, no, he's just insane and he likes puzzles and stuff and whatever.
I don't know, it gives a reason as to why you would create a suit made out of human skin.
Yeah.
Like you...
Right. Right, that's the important part.
You need some twisted reason, right? Like you need a why is this person doing it? Because who's doing it.
Right.
You need to figure out the why.
Sure. Well, if anyone has any comments about any of that stuff, you can always write to us. You can comment, I guess, wherever we are. But you can also write to us at thefilmwiththreebrains@gmail.com.
Hey, before we go on to our next movie, because I know Cohen's dying to tease us with ideas of hints what it might be, I'd just like to point out that we've once again hit Tracy Walter and Charles Napier.
Thank you. I forgot about Tracy Walter and Charles.
feed my fish.
Not too much.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, this guy has no idea what he's in for. 10 years from now, roughly. Anyway.
Yes.
All right, we moving on?
Yep.
All right. So we're going to switch gears and we're going to do a comedy.
Okay.
It was a comedy.
From the late 80s.
88?
No, 1 year earlier.
Tom Hanks?
No. The director is also from the sort of Roger Corman school of filmmaking, as was Jonathan Demme, which we didn't really talk about, but we did probably when we did Something Wild. Anyway, the movie we're doing is the same director as Gremlins.
Ooh, Christopher Columbus?
What? No.
Who am I thinking of?
Not Christopher Columbus.
Who am I thinking of?
I think maybe Joe Dante.
Joe Dante, sorry.
Wait.
That's Home Alone. What the hell? My brain's...
That's all right. I mean, this is Christopher Columbus is in that sort of era too.
So it is Home Alone?
Sorry. No, it's not Home Alone.
Wait. Oh wait, no, that's too early. Home Alone's later.
Joe Dante.
Wait. Okay.
It derailed us.
Let's think. 1987.
Yeah. A Joe Dante comedy.
But you said Tom Hanks, didn't you?
No,
I did say Tom Hanks.
And I said no, not Tom Hanks.
Didn't Joe Dante
Although one of the stars has been in a couple of Tom Hanks movies. The female lead has been in a couple of very popular Tom Hanks movies.
Sounds like a Meg Ryan to me.
Yeah. Does sound like Meg Ryan. We already did When Harry Met Sally.
We've done, When Harry Met Sally was...
That was not Joe Dante.
Not Joe Dante.
It's not just a comedy, it's also a bit of a soft science fiction movie.
Oh boy.
To a certain extent.
I'm gonna
no.
And the two male leads, one is a very well-known comedian, the other is more of a traditional dramatic actor.
Is the comedian a stand-up comic? Turned?
No, not exactly. A documentary about him just came out.
Martin Short.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Inner Space.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. It is Inner Space.
Yeah, that's is that something you're introducing your kids to?
Maybe that's a good idea, actually.
All right. It's a pretty benign movie, right?
It is, yeah.
All right. That's also didn't Spielberg produce Gremlins? And
well, he also produced Inner Space, actually. I think.
No, that's what I mean. I think that it's the same crew, right?
Oh, yeah.
As far as... Anyway, we'll talk about it.
Pretty similar.
Sure. I have not seen this since it came out.
I don't think I have either, actually.
I don't remember much of any of it.
I mean, I have fond memories, but it's very vague.
It's definitely a downshift from The Silence of the Lambs, I think.
Well, it's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
I don't know.
It's a comedy.
It's a comedy, but
I hope I laugh
too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's funny.
Yeah,
yes,
it is.
What made okay? Next
I don't
time you'll
pick
tell us
unfunny comedies.
Right.
Howard the Duck.
That's not a comedy.
No, it's not.
Sure,
it's a documentary.
Yeah,
it's a documentary. Yeah,
that is straight drama.
Is there anywhere to watch this Inner Space?
I don't know if it's available on any of the streamers. It's on Canopy, I think.
Okay.
And then otherwise it's a rental. I think I have it on DVD or something. Maybe.
Of course you do.
That's funny because you didn't mention Dennis Quaid, but I was thinking of DOA that Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid are in.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes.
But not a comedy.
Well, this is the era when they were married, so they made a few movies together, didn't they? This
Sounds
DOA,
right.
I thought there was one or two others because they were married for a few years there. You can get the Blu-ray on Amazon for $12.
Ooh.
Wow. That is a bargain.
Yeah. All right.
This has been our most thrilling episode yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. And our best as well. I think. Yeah.
Made my skin crawl.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's go have some fava beans and Chianti.
In the book, it was Amarone, but they were concerned that the American audience wouldn't know what Amarone is, so they changed it to Chianti.
It's probably wise.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, you remember the book pretty well. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of little factoids that could be slowly wrung out of this brain over
just
hours.
Below the frame, he's got a little cliff notes, and he's like,
yes.
I remember this well. Yeah. All right. Well, Interspace next time.
All right. That's enough, Movie Buff. I'm out.
See ya.
Thanks for listening. I'm uncomfortable in my own skin suit.